In the age of Sigmar, warriors from across the realm set out at the heads of newly forged armies. Vampiric overlords, monstrous green-skinned brutes, and aspiring lords of chaos, and more besides forged their own path across countless battlefields. And as they win mighty battles, quest for long-lost treasures, and seek to unlock the arcane mysteries of the realms, their legends begin to grow. This is Path to Glory. In today's game, we're going to be playing the first battle plan, the Ruined Settlement. Now, this has both armies face off in some asymmetrical deployments. The objective is setting up 5 objectives on the table. These will represent important locations of a ruined Dawnbringer town. For victory conditions, we'll get the Taken Hold, where we score 1 victory point at the end of each player's turn for the objectives they control. Today's game's first army will be Uranen's Thunderbolt, the Stormcast Eternals, of which I'll be playing. I'll be using the Thunderhead Host, which gives me the Synchronized Strikes, a passive ability where I get +1 to hit rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Warrior Chamber units while they're within 12 inch of any friendly non-hero, non-beast Stormcast Eternals unit that don't have Warrior Chamber. For my quest, I've got Search for the artifact. At the end of each of my turns, I can pick a friendly hero that's not within friendly territory, not in combat, and is within an inch of a terrain feature, and if I do so, roll a dice on a 4+, they'll find a clue and gain a quest point. Once I gain 3 quest points, I'll gain an extra artifact. For my spell lore, I've got Thundershock. Prayer lore, I have Bless Weapons, and for my manifestation lore, I've got the Soul Snare Shackles. Regiment 1 is led by my hero Lord Celestus Uranen. The Lord Imperator is my general with the path of the leader, the aspiring rank Tactical Acumen, which helps me get some extra commands for free, and the heroic trait Envoy of the Heavens. For units inside his regiment, I then have Halla Bladebringer, a Knight Quester with the artifact of power, the Quicksilver Draft, the Blades of Fast Stars, which is a unit of Quester Soulsworn, the Council of Lightning, a Stormcoven unit, and the Spine of Dracothian, a unit of Vindictors. And my second regiment is led by the hero Astar the Watcher, my Lord Veritant. For unit wise, I then just have the Hounds of the Storm, which is a unit of Gryph-hounds. Stephen is then my opponent today, and he's playing with the Chosen of Shanos, his Seraphon force. He's got the Eternal Star Host as his battle formation with the Celestial Translocation ability, which allows him to pick a friendly wizard and teleport some of his units around the battlefield potentially each turn of his. His quest today is Rise of a Champion. When you embark upon this quest, you pick a hero on your order of battle that does not yet have a heroic trait to be your Rising Champion. Now, something we've decided is we're going to allow a hero that already has a heroic trait to go on this quest. We think that's just a bit fun to do, so it's going to be Shanos, and you can complete this quest if an enemy hero or monster is slain by your Rising Champion. When you do so, you get a heroic trait for the Rising Champion. Lore-wise, in his spell lore, he has Speed of Hawanchi, and the manifestation lore is the Kronspine Incarnate. His first regiment has the hero Shanos Greattail, his Saurus Oldblood. This is his general with the Path of the Warrior, aspiring rank ability Berserker, and the artifact of power, the Blood Range Pendant, as well as having already a heroic trait as well, Reptilian Cunning. Now, for unit wise, we then have the Knights of Itzel, a unit of Agrodon Lancers, and the Guardians of Zokka, a unit of Saurus Warriors. Regiment 2 is led by Whitescale, the Chosen of Teapot, his Skink Star Priest, and for units, he has the Hunters of Sotek, a unit of Skinks. This will be the unit you see on the table with Javelins, and the Wayfinders of Zunki, a unit of Skinks as well. This will be the unit with Blowpipes. We then also have the Might of Tlaxcotl, which is a Stegodon with Sky Streak Bow. Alright, and so we are all deployed for the first game for at least me and Stephen in the Path to Glory campaign. So for my Stormcast Eternals, I have my Lord Veritant along with the Vindictors down on this flank. We then have my Lord Celestin, my General Uranen, and the Storm Coven right next to him, and we've got some Griffhounds up here as well. Meanwhile, for Stephen, his generals out the back there, Shanos, a Great Tail, leading some Saurus warriors, and you've got more Agrodon Lancers. Units of Skinks are scouting out ahead. You've got your Skink Priest and a Stegodon backing up your force. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. Alrighty, so with that, the Seraphon did finish deploying first, so Shanos' force is going to take the first turn. We'll go into hero phase for the Seraphon. Alright, so start the hero phase. First of all, you're going to attempt to try and cast the Kronspine. You need an 8 to cast it. That is a 12. Yeah, there is nothing I can do to stop this.
What's the rank?
Now, you've got a Seraphon Wizard here, and you're going to use the Eternal Star Host once per turn ability. First of all, to do so, you need to roll a 3+. You get it. So one unit wholly within 12 can now make a teleport, deploying 9-inch away from enemy units after it's done so. And so your Stegodon ends up there. Also, just of note is you did go for Quetzal the Preserver as your Celestial Asterism for the game as well. What that means is you need to keep enemy units outside of your territory at the start of the third battle round. If that is so, then you will get a -1 rend army-wide. And you could have done it the other way around, but you can still see the Stegodon through the little gaps all there anyway. So you, on a 3+, you can give the Serpent Staff ability to the Stegodon, which is crit. Goes off. So, end of your turn, I'm then going to go with a counter spell from the Storm Coven. And I'm going to attempt to counter spell for my first command point, and this is going to be the Soul Snare Shackles I'm going to try and put out. So, 7. So I have put up the Soul Snare Shackles. Now, something we totally just realised is that should be done in the movement phase, not the hero phase, but no harm done. It's all going to work out the same. So we just want to move it in the movement phase. We'll go on to the rest of movement for the Seraphon. Alrighty, so movement is done. You did run up with the majority of your units. All of this all ran on this flank. Your Skinks there have moved back across the board to sort of zone out your own territory, hoping to get your Celestial Azurism benefits. And then, of course, that did its teleport in the hero phase instead of the movement phase. It's there. So we go into more shooting potentially, or actually no. I'm going to go with a redeploy. So because you didn't get run and charge off on that flank, I'm then going to do a redeploy with the Vindicta unit. That is 4. Alright, so with your Stegodon, you're going to throw your Javelins at the Griffhounds, and your Skystreak Bow will go into the Storm Coven, so going the Javelins first. So your Javelins needing 4s to hit. That'll be 3 hits. And then 4s to wound. Just the 1. So a 6+ save on the Griffhounds, and saved it. So your Skystreak Bow is going to go next. I am going to use all-out defense against the Storm Coven. So 3s to hit, 2 hits, and 3s to wound. 2 wounds. So the rend ignores my all-out defense bonus, so we are going to be a 3+ save. We failed both. Wow. Right, so charge phase, your Stegodon is going to charge the Soul Snare Shackles. So let's see what you can do. As a 4. No mortals on the charge though, because I'm not an infantry unit. I'm an endless spell, but you are going to get to attack with your 6 attacks, your Stegodon's Horns and Jaws. And so you're going to be 4s to hit with your 6 attacks. Is crit auto wound there, so that auto wounds. 2s to wound. 3 go through. And so 3 6-up saves. I pass 1 and 6-up wards on the 4 damage. I take another, I only take 3. Alright, so with that, the end of the round, so we're going to go into scoring for the Seraphon, and they've got 4 objectives under their control, so they've scored 4 points. And so we go on to Stormcast Eternals turn 1. Starting with our hero phase. Alrighty, so during the hero phase, first things first, I'm going to pick one of my units to have their finest hour. And I'm going to pick the Vindictors here. They're going to get +1 to wound and to their saves for this turn only. Alright, so first spell to cast here is going to be Aether Shock from the Storm Coven onto the Gryph-hounds. So we're needing a 7 to cast. That is a 9 in cast. Yes. And yep, so you're going to need a 10 when you're trying to dispel this. No, that is not a dispel. So I'm going to give strikes first to the Gryph-hounds. And so we're going to attempt to chance with the Lord Veritant. So it's going to net us a 6. And with that 6, I'm actually going to spend the point straight away. I'm going to give +1 attack to the Vindictors here. Unit wholly within 12. And that'll be the end of my hero phase. So we will go into Stormcast movement now. Actually, before movement, I'm going to roll for the Sultan's Shackles. I roll a D3. On a 2+, you'll suffer some mortal damage. 1 mortal wound on your Stegodon, and you're also going to be -1 movement. And so now we will go on to movement. Right, so finished movement. We have the Vindictors moving up. We've got my center of the characters and the Storm Coven. Gryph-hounds have moved forward as well. So your Agrodons are going to elect to do a redeploy, so D6 inches for 5. And so with that, we are going to go into charges after you've done, into shooting after you've done a redeploy. The Agrodons have moved back. I've got some shooting. The Storm Coven can shoot. Right, so the Storm Coven are going to go into the Stegodon with their Azerite bolts. So they are needing 3s to hit. For 3 hits. And 4s to wound. For 2 wounds. And 1, making them a 5-up save. You fail both. They are D3 damage a pop, so that will be 4 damage. Alright, so charges. We're going to start with the Gryph-hounds charging. And so, let's see what their charge roll is. That's 6. And so we're going to go a charge with the Vindictors, but we'll roll, see what we get, and then I'll make my decision whether I want to or not. 7. I mean, that's not enough to get into the targets I want. I don't want to be charging the Kronspan. So we're going to spend our last command point to re-roll it for the round, because why not? 10. Ooh. Alright, and so the Vindictors make the charge in like so. So to begin with, first of all, we've got to go the strikes first units, which will be the Gryph-hounds. And so the Gryph-hounds with strikes first are going to be the first unit attacking this round. They need 4s to hit. And then 4s to wound. So, oh, that's better. 6, 7, 8. 8. And so 8, 6+ saves on the skinks. They pass none of them. So that will be 8 dead skinks from the Gryph-hounds. And so the Gryph-hounds have had a snack of lizard. Then we go into the irregular order of fighting, of which I get to pick the first, so I'm going to pick the Vindictors. Right, so the Vindictors have +1 attack, currently +1 to wound as well, so we are hitting on 3s. And then wounding on 2s thanks to my +1 to wound. So it will be 5, 10, 11. And so with all our defense, you are cancelling out my Ren, so you'll be on a 4+ save. Oh dear. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so the Agrodons are going to attack back. You are 3s to hit. Hit with everything. 3s to wound. That's even it out a bit. There's 2. Thanks to Finest Hour, that will put me to the 2+ save, but your Ren brings me back to my regular 3+ save. Save both. So the Agrodons then attacking as well. They need 4s to hit. A few misses, but that's pretty much what you should have got on average. And then 3s to wound. All 3. These are Ren 2, so these go to a 4+ save. Save 1, fail 2. And so the Agrodons, because they are in combat at the end of the round, will get a token, but it's not the end of fighting, because you do have 2 skinks to attack back with. And the skinks fighting back, 3 attacks, 4s to hit, 1 hit, 5 to wound. Wounds. Got a 6+ save on a Gryph-hound. Nope. And so that'll be the end of Stormcast Eternal's turn 1. I'm going to score 2 points, because I can't go above a control score of 1 on the Gryph-hounds. And so we're going to go priority for round 2. Stormcast Eternals got a 2. You got a 1. I am definitely going to elect to take it with the Stormcast. This means you will become the underdog because I'm taking a double. Alright, so because I'm taking a double, that means Stephen will become the underdog, so you get to roll a d3. 1. And so, because of that, Stephen gets to use the ability Under Dust and Rubble. He can pick one objective that can't be controlled this battle round. I'm just going to pick my home objective here. And so, my first thing I'm going to attempt to do is, in my hero phase, we're going to give the finest hour to the Storm Coven this round. And then I'm going to attempt to banish the Kronspine. Alright, so I'm going to need an 8 to banish the Kronspine. It's a 7, unfortunately not enough. I'm then going to give Strikes First to the Storm Coven. They're going to try and target themselves here. That's an 11. And so, because Stephen doesn't really have a counterspell option, he's going to try and dispel. You need a double 6 to do so. No. So, they're going to have Strikes First. And then I've got my Priest, who's going to try and bless weapons. And, well, first of all, let's try chanting. D6. 3. That's not going to be enough for anything, so we'll just have to bank the points this round. And the only other thing in my hero phase is the Soul Snare Shackles on a 2+, doing mortal damage to the Stegodon equal to the roll. 3 mortals this time. And so with 3 mortals, you'll be -3 movement as well. So we'll go into Stormcast Eternals movement for the round. So movement wise, we have moved the Storm Coven and my characters up. You can see my Veritan also moved in the middle of the table. Brought the Quester Soulsworn down, and I also brought the Night Quester down as well. Just had to refix him to make sure he's within the correct bubble. So now, during my movement phase, I'm going to use the ability from the Lord Imperator. 2 units that have come down from the Signs of the Storm ability can move D3 inches. And so the Night Quester there can move D3 for 3. And then the Quester Soulsworn can move D3 as well for 3 as well. And so there's our movement with the 2 units. We've got some shooting to do next. We're going to have the Storm Coven shooting at the Stegodon. Right, you're going to elect to do a redeploy after all this though. A redeploy on your Skink Star Priest, so D6 inches. 6. And so you've moved your Skink now that he's outside of 12, just completely getting out that Night Quester's way. Wants none of that giant sword he's carrying. So shooting now, the Storm Coven going to go into the Stegodon. 4 shots, we are hitting on 3s. Whoa. And wounding on 3s, nothing. Alrighty, so you're going to do a covering the fire with the Stegodon. Next of all, it has to shoot the closest unit to it. So you've got your Skink's attacks on the back to begin with. And so the handlers with 6 shots with their javelins and blowpipes and all that up the top. Hitting on 4s. Oh, hit. Wounding on 4s. So 3+ saves. Saved them all. And the Giant Bow needing 3s to hit. 2 hits and 3s to wound. 1 wound, -1, so this will be a 4-up save. Failed, but we'll take down another member of the Storm Coven. So, with that, we are going to go some charges. So we're going to start with the Storm Coven, or Storm Bro, as he now is. There's no Coven there. He's in with a 6. We'll make a charge with the Lord Imperator. 4. We'll go with the Quester Soulsworn next, needing a 9. We'll go a charge with the Lord Veritan. Need something huge. 7 ain't going to do what I want it to do, so we'll leave that. Then we'll go with the Night Quester. Big charge, hopefully. 7. And so we have our charges done. So Strikes First unit goes first, so it'll be the Storm Coven. And so 3 attacks from the Storm Coven, 3s to hit. And 2s to wound, because it is their finest hour. 1. -1, so 5-up save. D3 damage for 3. I'm going to pick the Vindictors then as my first pick, because remembering that was an always strikes first over there, so I'm doing all that attack, you're doing all that defense, so I need 2s to hit. There are 3 1s, wow. And 3s to wound. 3 at -1, so your base save of 4 is what you get. And you pass them all. Alrighty, so you're very damaged Stegodon going into the quest of Soulsworn. So 4s to hit with your 4 attacks now, as you've lost a couple due to being so damaged. And only 1 hit will be a 2 to wound though.
3.
And so a 4+ save, saved. And so the Knight Quester then is going to go into the skink, needing 3s to hit. And with that 6 to hit, there's no need to roll any more dice. It is crit mortal, so 2 mortals kills the rest of the skinks. Alright, you're going with the Agrodons next. 7 attacks from them into the Vindictors. So they're hitting on 3s. And then wounding on 3s. 4. 4 up saves on the Vindictors. 3 go down. That is a Vindictor down and another wound on another. And then you've got the attacks from the mounts needing 4s to hit.
4's 3.
And you've got 1 range token, so they've already got 1, so 4s. Thankfully, and that 3 will miss as well. Just 2 hits. And 3s to wound. 1. Be 5 up save. Nope. Right, so the Quest of Soulsworn are going to be 3s to hit. And then 3s to wound. Oh, maybe not. 2. That's it. And so, 2 5 up saves on the Stegodon. Fail 1, that's another 2 damage. And so that is my turn. However, at the end of my turn, I'm going to do my search for the artifact. I have a character wholly outside territory within 3 inch of an terrain feature outside my territory. And so on a 4+, I find a clue and gain 1 of my quest points. I do not. And so I'm going to score 2 in this round, because I'll control 1 and 2. That one is not controllable this round. And so we go into Seraphon turn 2, starting with the hero phase.
Okay.
So you're going to try and do your Serpent Staff poisons from the Skink Star Priest. 3+. Goes off. That's going to go on the Saurus, which gives them crit auto wound. The Skink Star Priest is actually going to try and banish the Soul Snare Shackles to stop them auto-killing the Stegodon, because at the moment he is locking up all my units over there. So you need a 6 on the banish roll. That is a 6, and get it, and it banishes the Soul Snare Shackles. I'm going to try and do a counter spell here, and we are going to go with trying to get off my War Scroll spell. So I got an 8, I do get it. So now I'm going to give strikes first to the unit of Gryph-hounds. And so with that, go into the movement for the Seraphon. Alrighty, so movement's all done. Essentially it's just moving your fighting line over this way towards the center of the table. Your Skink Priest is also moved at the back there. I am not going to do any redeploys, so we can go on to your shooting. You do have some shooting combat weapons.
Yep.
Alright, so your skinks here are going to shoot the Gryph-hounds. So they will be needing 4s to hit. So let's see what they can do.
4s.
And then we are going to be 4s to wound as well. So 5 up saves because you are shooting through cover. Save 1, so it's going to put 1 down, 2 down, and a wound on another. So you're shooting combat attacks. Who are you going to go with? Targeting?
I'll take out the single guy.
Yep, going to go for the Storm Coven, so needing 4s to hit. With just the 1, so you're not going to take out anything. 4 to wounds. Wounds though. 3 up. There you go through. Alright, so Kronspine is going to be the first model to charge, so let's see what that gets. New. With that 3 inch, the Kronspine is not charging. You can't use command points to reroll for manifestations, so Saurus charging.
8.
They're in. And then going to go with the Saurus Old Blood as well, needing a 9 on his charge. That is 11. And so all the charges end up looking like so. I do have some strikes first, and I'm going to declare my once per game use of the Quicksilver Draft on him, giving him strikes first as well. Everything into the Saurus then from the Night Quester. So my Night Quester is going to pile in, gets me within 3 inch of your Saurus Old Blood, Shanos there. So I'm going to attack with the Quester. I'm going to also use all out attack. And you're going to use all that defense on your general as well. So I hit on 2s. That is 2 mortal wounds straight away. And then wound on 3s. That is 4 saves. So 4 5-up saves. Each of these is 2 damage, and you've already taken 2.
This doesn't take any.
That'll be 6 damage in total then. And so you take 6 damage, but that leaves you on just a solitary wound. Now, I've still got another Strikes First unit. So do I wish to make the Gryph-hounds attack? Alright, and so we're also going to put the Gryph-hounds into your character. It just seems fitting that like he would make his doggos go attack your general as well. He's there fighting and trying to kill characters, not to kill units. It's all about the story. So 4s to hit with the Gryph-hounds. And 4s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4. These will be on your 3+ boosted save, because you cannot fail any. You fail 1 and go down to the last of the bulk box. So you get to pick the next unit to fight with. You could do your Agrodons, your Stegodon. You don't need to go in the center anymore. Right, the Stegodon is going to go next. You're going to attack the Storm Coven's remaining models. So 4s to hit. Got 2 hits. These will be 2s to wound. It's 2. -1, so 4-up saves. Fail it. My Vindicta Prime is going to pile in. And we're going to attack. So we are 3s to hit. All hit. And 3s to wound. All wounds. Okay, put these dice in the roll again pile. And so 3 5-up saves. Take 2. Alright, the Agrodon is going to strike back, so you got 5 attacks. Hitting on no hits from the mount. And then 4 attacks from the rider.
3s.
Yep, 3s to hit. That's better, 3 of them. And 3s to wound. 2. Rend 1, so 4-up saves. Fail both, go down. And so the Quester's Soul Sworn into the Stegodon. Hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 saves. All at -1. 7 5+ saves. You have to make the Yahtzee +2 here. And no, the Stegodon will go down. And so the Saurus Warriors did not like that I attacked and killed their lord, so they're going to attack my Night Quester. So your Saurus Warriors are currently +1 to hit and +1 to wound now. You've used all that attack, but you also got the +1 to wound because of the Wrath of the Seraphon ability from your Saurus Old Blood that triggered at the start of the combat phase. And so we are 2s to hit. So you've got a couple of crit auto wounds, but now you need 2s to wound as well. And so my Night Quester is a 4+ save. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's going to go down. And so that will be the end of the combat phase for turn 2. We'll go into counting up objectives. You will control the center because you've got 4 and the banner makes it 5 there. Control that one and control that one, so you get 3 points this round. And so, priority for turn 3. This is for the Stormcast. I got a 2. You got a 1 again. Now, I am going to take the turn, and I am going to be the underdog. And so, I think I'm going to choose to take the turn. Now, because Stephen doesn't take the double, and the difference isn't 6 or more, and I've chosen to keep take a double, Stephen will remain the underdog for the round. And so Stephen is going to get to roll on the underdog table. Let's see what happens. Same as before, so you can choose one objective on the table to not be active for the round. You're going to choose that one up there. Alright, so my hero phase is a lot simpler, seeing as I don't have a wizard anymore, so we're just going to try and chant. So I'm going to try and chant with the Veritant. It's 5. And so we are going to choose to spend all our points with that. And then put the Blessed Weapons Prayer on the Quest of Soulsworn there. I'm then also going to elect to make it the Quest of Soulsworn's finest hour this turn. And so with that, we'll go into some movement. And so we are going to go into movement. Just something of note is Stephen actually did fail his celestial thingy where he would gain the ability of -1 rend, because I do have 3 dogs in his territory at the start of the round. And so end of movement, I did have both my characters sort of just shuffle a little bit forward, the Quest of Soulsworn coming over. And then I've used my Heaven Sent rule to bring back 1 unit at half strength, rounding up. It started with 2 or more models, and that's going to be the Storm Covenant that will start back there, claiming that objective for me. So let's go into some shooting, because I have it again, and we'll go with the 2 Storm Coven. Alright, so the Storm Coven, they're going to target... You know what? Actually, no, we're going to target the Saurus Warriors. They need to die. So we are hitting on 3s. Yeah, we all hit. And wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, -1 on the Saurus. So 4 up saves. Save both. Sorry, one of those will actually go through because you got the -1 to your save. So D3 for 3, that'll kill 1 and put a wound on another. And so we will go with charges. We'll start with the Quest of Soulsworn. So let's see what they can do. Say 4. We're going to have to spend a command point to reroll on the Quest of Soulsworn there. That is a 7. That'll get him in. So that will be it for my charges for the round. So we are going to go with the Quest of Soulsworn striking first. And so the Quest of Soulsworn will be attacking the Saurus. I'm using all-out attack. The Saurus have elected to use all-out defense. So I am hitting on 2s. And due to our finest hour, we are 2s to wounds. And so with all that defense, that goes to a 4 up save with my rend. And so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead Saurus. And so 3 attacks from your Saurus champion into the Gryph-hounds in retaliation. Yeah, apparently when he sees all these buddies get murdered, he misses a few times. And 3 to wound. No. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And so the Gryph-hounds into the last remaining Saurus, 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. 3. These will be on a 3 up save, because no rends. And he saves, yeah, saves them all. Alright, the Kronspine is then going to attack the Quest of Soulsworn. So 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. Oh, thank God. Wounding on a 2. Wounds. And so I've got a 4 up save against it. Saved. Whew. And so, end of the turn for the Stormcast Eternals. I will score 2 points once again. That is all. So going to Seraph on turn 3. One last thing actually at the end of my turn, with an inch of terrain feature here, so I'm going to try and search for an artifact in the graveyard. Digging up bones. Nope, 1 again. So hero phase wise, you're not going to elect to cast anything. I am going to attempt to try and do a counter spell. These guys are going to do their War Scroll spell. Which is... So can we get it off? We do on a 10. So you actually need 10 because that would be a 9 because I'm -1 to cast. So on a 10 you dispel me. No. And I am going to give strikes first to the Quest of Soulsworn. Alright, so you're going to do your Serpent Staff on the Skinks there. Let's see if it goes off. It goes off. Mm-hmm. And so we do go into movement as well. So you do have to roll a 3+ to try and teleport with your skink wizard there.
Oh, duh.
Movement phase, you are going to try and teleport those skinks. You need a 3+ to do so. No, not this round. And so your other movement, your Agrodon did move up. And so the other movement is just these skinks and skink priest moving across there. So shooting time.
Yep.
Skinks, who are they shooting? Alright, the skinks are shooting the Quest of Soulspawn, so 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. So these are 3-up saves. 3 fails, that will be 1 down. And so on to charges, your Agrodon's going to charge. 6. Alright, the Agrodon is in. Skink's going to charge as well? Yep. So 8, they're in. And so the Quest of Soulspawn have strikes first, so they're going to get to attack first. We are putting everything into the Cronspine. And so they are going to use all that attack into the Cronspine, so hitting on 2s. And then 3s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12, 5-up saves. I need 6 of these as fails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got him. You're going with the Saurus Warrior there. 3 attacks. So 3s to hit. It's twice, and then 3s to wound. Wound once. Rend 1 means you will kill a doggo. And the Griffhounds will put everything into the skinks. So 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. 4. No rend, so 4 6-up saves on your skinks. So 6s. Yep, 4 dead skinks. Alrighty, so we are then going to go with the skinks. They need 4s to hit. And then 5s to wound. So 4 in total, 4 6-up saves on the Griffhounds. Plus none, that's 2 dead. So the Agrodon is attacking the Quest of Soulspawn. So 4 attacks.
All out attack?
All out attacking with the champion, meaning you'll hit on 2s. So 2s, misses once. And 3s to wound. Another fail, so 2 at -1. Rend 1. So 4-ups. Pass 1, fail 1, that is 2 damage. Now you've got 3 attacks with the Agrodon, hitting on 4s, because companion weapons don't get the bonus. So just 1, I mean, the bonus wouldn't have mattered there anyway. And 3 to wound. Wounds, -2, so a 5-up. Nope. And so with that, that is the end of the turn for the Seraphons. So you are going to score this objective, because that's still yours. You are going to score the home one there. I out-control you by a single point in the center, so that's not yours. So you got 2 for the round. Today's video is sponsored by the Warhammer merch shop. Want to grab some merch for your favourite Warhammer army? You can use our affiliate link down below to grab your next purchase and help support the channel at the same time. And so this is the beginning of round 4. We go priorities for the Stormcast. I've got a 4, the Seraphon got a 6. Now, are you going to take the double? Because that means I will become the underdog. And so with so few mods left, Stephen is going to have to take a double. He doesn't feel confident that he can survive the turnout if he gives me the beginning of the round. So it is going to be Seraphon's turn 4 to begin with. So I'm going to get to roll for the underdog twist. I got a 5. And so the underdog is lead the attack ability. So that's +1 attack for one of my units. That's going to go on the Quest of Soulspawn, giving them an extra attack. And so first of all, you're going to go your Serpent Staff ability on a 2+. It goes off, going on the Agrodon for crit auto wound. And then you're going to try and summon the Cronspine again. So let's see if you can. It's an 8. So 8 will cast, so I'm going to try and unbind that. Not with a double 1, I'm not. And so the Cronspine is summoned down there. So I'm going to go with a counter spell to begin with. I'm going to try chanting with my... Or no, we're going to go their second spell. I'm going to try the Always Strikes First spell on them. I need an 8. Get it. And so, with that, I'm going to go into movement. And so movement-wise, well, there is no movement. Your priest is quite happy to stay back there, away from the Lord Veritan.
They do.
Alright, so the skinks are going to shoot at the Quest of Soulsworn, so 4s to hit. And 4s to wound. And 3 up saves. Fail 1. And so with that, you do have charges. Do you want to try the 9 bomb with the Cron Spine?
Yes.
Alright, now there's no rerolls on this because you can't reroll the Incarnate, but no. My Veritan's going to charge in. He is 3 inches away from your skink, so doing a counter charge, he's in. And the Quest of Soulsworn will put everything into your Agrodon Lancers, so 3s to hit. Ooh. I'm going all out attack, so 2s to hit. You're going all out defense. And 3s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so 9 4+ saves. No, that will be him gone. Alright, your skinks are then going to attack the Quest of Soulsworn. They'll pile in. So 4s to hit. 6s are crit auto wounds.
No, they're not.
Oh no, that failed this round, didn't it? So yeah, no.
No.
No, it was on the Agrodon, not the skinks. That's why. 5s to wound though. Nothing, unfortunately. My Griffhound then will attack your Saurus. Griffhound will attack the skinks. So 5 attacks because it's the champ, hitting on 4s. And winning on 4s. Nothing. Saurus then has 3 attacks. And so 3 attacks hitting on 3s. You go on all out attack for +1 to hit. And so. And 3s to wound. 2. Rends, that will just kill the Griffhound. The Veritan then has 3 attacks from its Judgment Blade into the skinks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. It rends, so D3 damage for 2. And then 1 attack from the Staff of Abjuration. Hits. And that does not wound. And so that will be the end of the turn. Alright, so start of the Stormcast Eternal's turn. I'm going to put my Finest Hour on the Veritant this round. And then we are going to go with some magic. I'm going to try and cast the Soul Snare Shackles. So, goes off on an 8. Can you dispel it? No. And because I'm controlling an objective, I do get to do a second spell, so I'm going to try and do their War Scroll spell. 5 does not go off finally. My Veritant will then attempt to chant. We'll get 1. We'll lose D3 points, has none, so just gets nothing. Then the Soul Snare Shackles, I can pick 1 enemy unit for each one of the things in range. So we'll roll for the skinks on a 2+. They take 3 mortal wounds, so 3 skinks go bye-bye. And the Saurus on a 2+. He's gone as well, as he gets obliterated by 1. So with that, we'll go into movement. And so, that is my movement done. I did run with both the Storm Coven and the Lord Imperator to get control of the objectives. I can't shoot the Storm Coven because I don't have run and shoot, so we are going to go into combat and we'll start with the Veritant. We might as well at this point just go all out attacks are in the bottom of the turn. So 2s. And 2s, thanks to Finest Hour, is 2 that just go straight through its armor and obliterate him. How much damage would I have done to that poor skink? 3. And so I killed the skink 3 times over, but that is the end of the round. No, I'm going to score 1, 2, 3, 4 this round. I'm going to attempt to try and search for the artifact again in my quest. Nope, I am getting closer though. Right, so this is probably going to determine how the game's going to go. because on a 3+, the game continues. On a 1 or 2, it does not. So let's see. 5, it'll continue. So now we're going to priority for turn 5. So priority, I got a 2, I got a 6. Now, we have a decision to make. You are up by a point, but the max you can score with 1 unit on the table is 1 point. And so with that, Stephen is going to take the double. Now, we're just going to call it here because Stephen is going to elect to withdraw from battle. The big reason for this is because if he gets destroyed, he's only going to get 1 renown point on his skink priest. But if he retreats from battle, he doesn't count as being destroyed, takes part in the battle, potentially gets the 3 renown points. So that means I automatically win a major victory now, though I can go about my business playing the rest of the turns out that I'll have access to, so potentially trying to search for quests. So he retreats, his stuff will disappear from the battlefield. We just go to the end of my turn. I will try and do my search for quest objective again. Do I finally get a 4+? No. Now we play out the rest of the game, so now we've got to roll to see whether the game continues again. And so does the battle end after turn 5 on a 3+. Continues for another round, so I'm going to get another search here. And so 4+, I finally get a point. And I've got 1 more turn after this.
Maybe.
I do. So can I have 1 more search for artifact here? And I don't find it. So I'm going to end the game with 1 search point. And then they'll be my surviving units. And so, in the aftermath of the game, for Uranen's Thunderbolts, I've gained 55 glory, taking me to a total of 55. I've got a quest point on my search for the artifact quest. Renown-wise, I did get a few extra points with Lord Celestus Uranen and the Blade of the Far Stars now on 6, and Asta the Watcher on 2, while everyone else goes on a 1 renown point. And this does allow the Blades of the Far Stars, the Path over the Redeemer upgrade, taking Heralds of the Tempest. For the Chosen of Shanos the Seraphon, they've gained 30 glory for today's game, taking them to a total of 30 glory. They didn't get any quest points on the Rise of a Champion unable to slay an enemy character or monster, but for Renown, Shanos Greattail got an extra point, taking him to 6, and the Knights of Itzel, the Agrodon Lancers, gained 5 as well for being the Chosen Warriors. Pathwise, this does mean the Knights of Itzel get to go on the path of the attacker, and they get the Aspiring Rank ability Battle Fury, which will give them re-rolls to ability to run and charge. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.